Are you looking for a powerful gaming laptop with the fastest screen on the market? I am Matthias Tech from GamingAndReview.com, and today we're gonna take a closer look at the newest esports designed laptop from ASUS. The ROG SCAR 2 features the newest 6-core Intel i7-8750H processor that can turbo up to 3.9 GHz on all cores and 4.1 GHz on a single core. For the graphics, there's a GTX 1060 or GTX 1070 depending on the model, with a 15.6-inch 1080p 144Hz display running on 3 ms response time. There's also 16 gigs of DDR4 memory clocked at 2666 MHz in dual channel, and 256 GB of M.2 PCIe SSD for the storage. For the current price of this laptop, make sure to check Amazon links in the description. You can also find the timestamps there if you wanna skip some parts of this video. The top surface of this laptop is made of aluminum, with a nice looking brush texture and rounded corners. There's also the ASUS ROG logo with a fully customizable RGB backlight. The new Strix laptops just blast with RGB. At first I thought I couldn't care less about RGB logo behind the screen since I wouldn't notice it anyway, but the longer I used this laptop, the more I appreciated the look of it, especially at night. There's also an RGB light strip up front that gives you some room to personalize the laptop even more. It synergizes very well with the keyboard backlight. The dimensions of the SCAR 2 are 361mm in width, 262mm in depth and 26mm in height. The laptop weighs around 2.42 kg and the charger is additional 0.61 kg, making it 3.03 kg in total. Okay, let's take a look inside. Starting from the top, there's a very fast thin bezel screen. A bit lower there's a glossy ROG logo, built-in microphone and a 720p HD webcam that unfortunately is located at the bottom, so the angle is not the greatest. Above the keyboard there are status indicators with the air intake and a power button on the right side. The keyboard itself is full size with 4-zone RGB lighting. The key travel distance is great. I really enjoy typing on it, but for some of you it might be hard to get used to because of the arrow keys position. I barely use them, so the keyboard overall was alright. The whole bottom panel is made of polycarbonate, but surprisingly it feels very solid. There's almost no keyboard flex and nothing creaks. I've seen a lot of laptops made of aluminum that weren't as solid as this unit. Alright, when it comes to the screen quality, the ASUS killed it this year. It's a 15.6-inch 1080p 144Hz IPS panel with 3 ms response time, so it's one of the fastest laptop screen on the market today. The top and side bezels are 5mm thin, making it 88% screen to body ratio. The color accuracy in this model is just on point. It's a great device when it comes to video or photo editing, scoring 99% of sRGB, 79% of Adobe RGB and the brightness of 310 nits. The viewing angles are just excellent. The image keeps its color even in the sharp angles. The panel runs on 144Hz refresh rate with 3 ms response time, and so far it's the fastest display I've ever used in a laptop. Even though I used some laptops with 144Hz screens in the past, the panel in ROG SCAR 2 runs smoother than basically any other laptop display. The ROG SCAR 2 has a full-size keyboard with 4-zone RGB lighting. It's kind of weird that the laptop that has so much RGB around doesn't have an individual key backlight. Depending on the model, WSAD keys in ROG SCAR 2 and QWER keys in ROG Hero 2 are transparent, so the RGB lighting just blasts right through them. The keyboard has a great key travel distance and is very solid, so the typing feels really satisfying for a laptop keyboard. The only thing that might bug you in this keyboard is the location of the arrow keys. If you use them a lot, it will take you a bit of time to get used to. You can customize your keyboard backlight, light strip and the ROG logo in the ASUS ROG software. There are plenty of presets that you can use, so I'm pretty sure you will find something for you. There's almost no keyboard flex at all, even if I push really hard. I never thought I'd see something like this with a polycarbonate bottom panel. The touchpad uses Windows Precision driver, so the tracking is good. It also has 2 dedicated buttons, so there is no standard button mechanism, which I personally like. The speakers sound pretty good. They are located on the both sides and can get decently loud, up to 75 decibels. The sound is very clear, and what surprised me is that it has the bass, even though the laptop doesn't have a built-in subwoofer. Overall, great speakers. For the ports, starting from the left side, there's a power input, Ethernet port, mini display port, HDMI port, 2x USB 3.1 Type A port, USB 3.1 Type-C port, and a 3.5mm jack for headphones and microphone. On the right side there's a lock mechanism, air exhaust vent, USB 3.1 Type-A, and a SD card reader. When it comes to the battery life, SCAR 2 has 64 Wh unit, and while watching YouTube videos, Twitch streams and doing some office works with the videos running in the background, I managed to use it for 2 hours 47 minutes in one charge with the screen brightness set to 75%. So if you plan to take this laptop into meetings or class, you will also need to take a charger with you. The ASUS ROG SCAR 2 is a very well designed laptop when it comes to the thermal solutions. During the CPU stress test with the fans on automatic mode, the CPU never hit the temperatures over 86 degrees Celsius, which is a great achievement for a 6-core CPU. As you can see, the CPU won't bottleneck your GPU in games, so you can expect the highest possible performance from this configuration. Also, if you see the temperatures getting higher after a few months, you can always put the fans to overboost mode or just undervolt the CPU. For those of you who don't know how to undervolt the CPU, I made a quick tutorial, so if you are interested, you can check the link in the description. When it comes to noise, with the fan set to automatic mode, on idle it's completely silent. Under heavy load like video rendering or playing newest games, the laptop hits around 43 decibels. The ROG SCAR 2 is very accessible when it comes to upgrading. You just unscrew the back panel and that's it, you get access to all the interiors. So if you're on budget, you can always get the cheapest configuration and make the upgrades in the future without bigger effort. The gaming on this device is just great. GTX 1060 or GTX 1070 combined with a super fast 3ms 144Hz display is a pure pleasure when it comes to gaming. Here are the average frame rates you can expect in games from both configurations. The second generation of ASUS Strix laptops is a big success in my opinion. The great construction combined with the super fast screen and a good price brings something new to the market. The ROG SCAR 2 is a clean looking, powerful gaming machine with one of the fastest displays on market. But is it worth buying? Let's start with the pros. Excellent display. Great panel, very good color reproduction and brightness with excellent viewing angles. Great design. Brushed aluminum top panel with the RGB logo and RGB light strip up front make the laptop look very unique. Very solid. I would have never expected such a solid device with a polycarbonate bottom panel. Nothing creaks, no keyboard flex. Great thermals. Great temperatures even without undervolting. Reasonably priced. There are much more expensive laptops with configurations similar to this one. Great performance. The newest 6-core Intel i7 processor with GTX 1060 or GTX 1070 will let you do basically anything you can think of. Alright, I need to tell you something if I have to be honest. For me it's the laptop that has everything I need, so the cons might be a bit forced. Although there are some small things that I'd like to see improved in the next generation. Short battery life. While watching YouTube videos, Twitch streams and doing some office works with the videos running in the background, the battery lasted only for 2 hours and 47 minutes. Fingerprint catching. Even if you use the touchpad occasionally, the fingerprints will stay visible on it until you wipe them off. I left Amazon links in the description, so you can check the lowest price available for each model. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit a thumb up, leave a comment or subscribe this channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.